up your engine! People wonder about good used cars. Here's a 97 Toyota Camry that the customer bought over a year ago for $1,200. And he wants me to make sure it's going to pass the inspection so we can put Texas tags on it. $1,200 for a Toyota that still runs. Now first we'll start with the matter at hand that he originally brought it over here for. Will it pass the state emissions test so that he can get a sticker and put Texas plates? We'll just plug the scan tool in. Plugs in right there. It starts doing its thing. Oh, it's communicating. Have to put it in manually. 97 car, a Toyota Camry, 4-cylinder, 2.2 liter, automatic transmission. And here we go. And while we're waiting, I'll turn on the AC because man, it's hot. And it may be an old Toyota, but ooh, it's blowing nice cold air still. Now we want to see if it's going to pass the state inspection. So it's reading the data. No code, so it'll probably pass. But we're going to go back. We're going to go to special functions here, OBD2 functions, and we go to state OBD check. That's what we want. So we push the button, and what does it say? Mill status is off, no codes, 8 monitors okay, none incomplete. Aha, this thing's gonna pass the test now. Everything working perfectly fine, no codes. But I'm gonna go a little bit further with my fancy scan tool just to see what kind of shape this old baby's in. So we've hooked up the fancier scan tool for that. We picked out Toyota. We can't do automatic selection, it's too old. So we'll go to the manual selection. Diagnosis, auto scan. Scroll through the live data. Short-term fuel, long-term fuel. It adds quite a bit. It's old, so I'm assuming the fuel injectors are somewhat dirty, so it has to add some extra fuel to make it run right. That's typical in a car that's got almost 200,000 miles on it. The fuel trim, though, isn't bad. It's 99.15, 100.00 is perfect. Pretty good for a car with 200,000. There's no misfires. As you can see, there's no misfires in any of the cylinders, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And even the transmission has no problems. Sure, it's an old 4-speed automatic, but it still runs fine. You can still turn the overdrive on and off if you want. I just leave it on so it gets better gas mileage. Pretty amazing shape when you consider this thing's 23 years old. Has almost 200,000 miles on it. And the guy only paid $1,200 for it a year ago in Michigan. He's gonna have no problems getting it registered in Texas, so let's just check under the hood. Now under the hood there's a 4-cylinder engine, but not just any 4-cylinder engine. It's the Toyota renowned 2.2 liter 4-cylinder engine. When they replaced this engine, they did have some production problems. They burned oil. Toyota replaced a lot of piston rings and pistons, rebuilding the engines free because they were burning excessive amounts of oil. This 2.2 cylinder engine never had that problem. This thing's got almost 200,000 miles, burns less than half a quart of oil between oil changes. You can't complain about that. Now this engine only has 133 horsepower. The one in 2007 had 158. Not all that much difference. This thing's got plenty enough get up and go. Being extremely mass produced, parts of these things are cheap and easy to get. He did have to replace the radiator himself. He bought it for 69 bucks. Did his own replacement. Not bad. Sure, it's an old car. The hubcaps are gone. The paint's coming off the bumper, but that's not the car's fault. Somebody hit it. And the other side doesn't have hubcaps either. But it's still a solid car. We check out the trunk and look, it's the LE, so it's got the gold to it. And the key doesn't work anymore. Well, you gotta expect these things. The key's probably so worn out, it starts the car. So we'll just pop the trunk this way. As long as it starts the car, who cares? Open it up. He's got his jack. Got the nice big Camry trunk. You can fit a lot of stuff in here. You can even hear it solid when it slams. Now, as old as it is, the original front struts are still in decent shape. But the back ones, hey, they're pretty worn out. Watch this. Just keeps bouncing along. Boing! My customer asked me, is it going to cause any problems? I said, as long as you don't mind it bouncing around. It's not going to hurt anything. You're not going to be cornering at 100 miles an hour. It won't handle quite as well, but as long as the rear tires don't wear out weird. Lots of guys drive these around, and they're like those Porky Pig cartoon cars bouncing up and down on bumps. But they still go down the road. We'll hop it in, check the interior. They really wear well. It's got stains on it. There's lots of room in the back. But hey, they're not even ripped apart yet. Start it up. Typical Toyota, starts right up. Turn on the AC because I'm hot. And we'll take it for a spin. Back we go. Well, normal driving still handles decent other than the back bouncing. Your clunks here and there. The transmission is still shifting like a dream. Let's see if it's got any takeoff left to it. Here we go. Hey, it was even burning rubber. These things are almost indestructible. They really are amazing cars. And yeah, you can hear the noises. The suspension systems get loud on these things, make all kinds of noise as they're worn. But as you drive them down the road, they're still pretty comfortable vehicles. 23 years and 200,000 miles later. Hey, what a steal for $1,200. It even still tracks pretty good, doesn't pull one way or the other. Brakes work perfectly fine, quiet. These were well thought out and built vehicles. Heck, this 97 might be the perfect beater car of all time. I wouldn't be surprised if 10 years from now, this thing is still going down the road. And if you wouldn't mind having a back bumper painted and all the paint polished, the white paint's still there, it just needs to be buffed out, it'd still be a sharp looking car. The only real downside of this car is it came from Michigan. It's a Michigan car. So a lot of the parts have superficial rust, and some have a little bit more than superficial rust on them. As you can see here inside the brake calipers, they're getting pretty rusty. Just check them out. You can see they're all rust. Now that's superficial rust, but he did have to replace the other side, which he bought at AutoZone for less than 50 bucks. So like I say, you can get parts for these things easy, they don't cost that much, and they continue to roll down the road. So now you know the truth about this old 97 Camry. Why, it might be the perfect beater car for anyone who wants a car that still has cold AC and still rides pretty decent down the road, gets decent gas mileage, and even though it's 13 years old with 200,000 miles, probably isn't going to break down all that much in the future. And here's some bonus questions and answers. Gadget Brand says, Scotty, 2011 Toyota Corolla S, 163,000 miles. Took it to a dealership for an alignment, and they said that they found a leak on the front engine cover, and they wanted to resale it for $2,900. Doesn't leak to the ground. Looks like seepage. What should I do? Ha! Ignore it. 163,000 miles. Okay, my Celica in the driveway, it's 26 years old, has 230,000 miles on it, and it's got seepage too. I don't care. It doesn't even reach the ground. You know, they're just trying to sell you stuff. That's how all those dealerships are. It's unfortunate, but they're out to make money, especially today. They're not selling that many cars because of the epidemic, so they're going to be selling you repairs up the wazoo. Just the other day, I had a customer come here. They said the dealer told them they needed $3,000 worth of work. I did $200. It didn't even need to be done right away, and I said, you know, you can do this later if you want. They said, I'll go ahead and do that now. But they're trying to rip them for $3,000 of work that actually didn't need to be done at all. So be very leery whenever people tell you that stuff. You see oil dripping all over the ground? Yeah, it's time to fix something. You get seepage on a vehicle that's 10 years old and has 163,000 miles. Tell them they can take a hike and don't go back there, because you know every time you go in, they're going to try to sell you more crap. All right, this one you got to see to believe. Check this out. There's a company called Kurt Systems, and they contracted Roush, which is the company that makes those very fast Mustangs. Well, I guess they liked the idea of Mustang horse, and they got Roush to build vehicle to train horses. Check it out. It's real. This isn't make-believe. They wanted something that they could use to train race horses with. Now, it kind of looks like the horse is pulling the car, but no. The vehicle can go up to 37 miles an hour, but the horse isn't pulling it. It's just pacing the horse to see how fast the horse can go. It's all kinds of crazy electronics so that horse can control by electronic reins, and they have a silicone saddle on the horse, and they can electronically change that to mimic the weight of a jockey. The engine in the vehicle itself is a 2.4 liter Volvo diesel engine. Suspension parts come from a Ford F-150. It's a big vehicle. It weighs 4 tons. And the steering and other things are just all custom made. I mean, it's obviously a custom made vehicle. And it's to train race horses. Because after all, if it was an actual vehicle being pulled by the horse, it would only have a 1 horsepower engine, the horse itself. The animal has all kinds of sensors on it to measure oxygen levels, all kinds of different things, so they can train the horse correctly using this machine. I guess they got tired of using jockeys. Maybe the jockeys were asking too much money. I mentioned this machine cost a fortune to build. So, there's now a vehicle out there to train horses. We've gone almost full circle. Originally, we were riding in a cart behind the horse, and now the cart is training the horse how to run. Evolution in reverse, I don't know, but check it out. It's a pretty bizarre looking vehicle. They actually do exist to use to train racehorses. Nobody's given figures on how many winners have been created from this. That'd be interesting if somebody ever did a study on that to see if it actually works in the racehorse world. But they're building these things and somebody's buying them. There was no notice, though, on what the price was. I just found it funny that Roush Technology does it because they're known for making fast Mustangs. I guess now they want to make fast actual Mustang horses. Or at least train them to go fast. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.